Hi, welcome to the YouTube channel. So we'll be having analysis on EUSD, GPUSD, USDP, and then good. Okay. So let's watch our news for the upcoming week. Okay. So on the news, we have um, Monday to be free, Tuesday to be free. We will not have any high impact news. The high impact news occurs on Wednesdays, okay, Thursdays, okay, and Friday too. We are free. All right. So the tentative, we don't have any fixed time for the release of this JPY news, okay. And also GBP 7 a.m., 12 p.m., 12:30 p.m. for the GBP and then USD, okay. So on the Wednesday we have USD JPY for the PPI news, and then 6 p.m. for the federal funds rate. So we are free on the Tuesday, Monday, Tuesdays, and then Fridays. Okay. So we will be having so we will take good consideration on the positions we'll be entering on the Wednesdays and then the Thursdays, as these days will be highly volatile. All right. So let's go to the technical analysis. Okay. So on Euro USD, I caught a nice trade on the Euro USD. Okay. So let's start from the monthly time frame. Okay. So on the monthly time frame, we have this week here to grab liquidity, and then we have this two here. Okay. So as you can see, we rigged on this high and then came back to mitigate a demand zone and then pushed again to rig on this high. Okay. So as you can see, this week on the 26th of January, we didn't close above. So we took it as you'll be highly bearish on the Euro USD. All right. So let's go down to the daily time frame. So on the daily time frame, we had a break here for a daily break of structure to the upside. All right. We have these two as a daily break of structure to the upside. All right. And then we have these two. So we had this our strong low, but then we closed below with this wick, with this candlestick. So this now tends to be our daily change of character to the downside. Sorry. So this tends to be our daily change. Rate. I took that on the GBP USD because of volatility. But it turned out that the Euro USD was highly volatile than the GBP USD. Okay, so let's go into. I took the a day trade. Okay, so as you can see, we had this daily order block here. Price violated it. We'll be heading strictly to the external liquidity. So after the external liquidity, we're having this order block that has been mitigated recently. Like we closed inside the order block. All right. So let's go to the 4 hour time frame. So on the 4 hour time frame, we had this break of structure to the downside here. We had another break of structure to the downside. Okay. So we had also this break of structure to the downside on a 4 hour time frame. Okay. So after this break of structure to the downside, the trade idea was here. We had this strong low. So we had a strong high here. And then when you go to the 1 hour time frame, we're having this. Let me turn off this session break. This session, okay. On the 1 hour time frame, we're having this order block here. So as you can see, price mitigated this order block. And then on the 15 minutes time frame, after mitigating the order block on the 1 hour time frame, we had this structure shift here. All right. So this was the order block, and this was an order block too. That could reverse price to the downside. Okay. Because we had a liquidity here as an inducement. All right. So the trade idea was like this. And then we were targeting the swing low. Okay, for a beautiful 4.4 risk reward. But you can extend it to this daily swing low because the order block here was violated. We didn't have any order block in this price leg to push the price upside. All right. So you could have extended this to the daily strong low. So this was a trade that I didn't take. I took a trade on the GPUSD and I'll show you in that in a second. So we're having this record structure to the downside, okay? As we had that record structure to the downside, you can see we have this internal break here. So on the 50-minute time frame, this was a valid record structure to the downside on the 50-minute time frame. You see? So this was the liquidity to be taken as an inducement. This is a valid order block. All right. That was a valid order block on the 50-minute time frame. So as you can see, price mitigated a fair value gap here. After mitigating that fair value gap, went on the 1 minute time frame. So in the 1 minute time frame, we had this record structure to the downside. Okay, and price made another record structure to the downside. So if you watch on the 50-minute time frame, we're having no liquidity in this price. Like the liquidity was lying here. So in order for this to be valid, we have to engineer a liquidity before they move to the downside. So on the 1 minute time frame, so on the one minute time frame, let me see. Okay, I wouldn't have taken this trade if you didn't have this breakout structure to the downside. So this acted as a liquidity for those who see this as a potential breakout structure to the downside for a move. So this is the valid order block. All right, we have this order block here. So the trade was on the 5 minute time frame. This is the order block that I took the trade on. My stop loss above and then my take profit was below here for a 4.5 history reward. All right. So this is the trade I used to end the week. So in the upcoming week, let's see what we have here. Okay. So as you can see, we've had another 15 minutes break of structure to the downside here. Okay. This is a 15 minutes break of structure to the downside. We have this other block here. Okay. And then we have this liquidity to all right. So as you can see, we will be waiting for price to tap here, give us a shift in the lower time frame, and then we'll look to sell. So if this POI gets violated, we then shift our buyers to bullish to trade internally to the upside to then mitigate this other block here. Okay. So this is a valid H4 order block. All right. So we also have another H4 order block here. Let me see if we have Beverly gap. Okay, so we're having a small Beverly gap here. All right. So this is an H4 order block that we are highly anticipating for a reversal. Okay. So this is our narrative for EUUSD for the upcoming week. So on GBP USD, as you can see, we have a break of structure to the upside. We've mitigated this daily demand. We also have daily demand to here. Okay. So we've taken all these liquidities and then mitigated this demand. So if this demand is to hold, then we should get a reversal to the upside to break this internal structure. Then we look for a reversal to break this week high. All right. So on the 4 hour time frame, as you can see on the 4 hour time frame, this is a trade I took on the 4 hour time frame. Okay. So on the 4 hour time frame, as you can see, we're having this other block here. All right. And then we have this market gap also here. As you can see, the market gap, without filling it. So I was anticipating price to mitigate this other block with a gap and then give me a lower time frame shift for the trade. All right. So we have this record structure. We have this record structure to the downside here. Okay. We broke structure with a candle closure here. And then we mitigated this other block. When you go to the 15 minutes time frame, you will see we have this change of character to the downside. This is a small break. Like this is a small candle closure, but we take it as our record structure to the downside. So I didn't take this trade on the 15 minutes time frame. This would have been the other block for the 15 minutes time frame. Okay. So the trade, I went to the 1 hour time frame after closing on the 15 minutes time frame. And then I took the trade on this final buy to sell candlestick. We have this final buy, then to sell. Okay. So it covers some imbalance and then give me a buffer because this would have been the trade, the where I should take the trade, but I took the trade on this final buy to sell and then tightened here for beautiful 4.1 risk to reward. Okay, so we're having a bigger structure to the downside on a 4 hour time frame. This is a valid order block here. Okay, valid for order block. So if price is upside to mitigate this, we'll be looking for lower time frame shift to then break the weak low. All right. But if price is to violate this one and then break above the um, strong high for a 4 hour change of character, then we'll be looking for a demand zone in the 4 hour time frame, okay, for a reversal to the upside to break the daily break high. So on the 1 hour time frame too, let's see if you have a good order block here. So on the 1 hour time frame, we're having this order block here. It's very small, but we'll consider it, all right? The 1 hour time frame. All right. So we have this on the block two on the 1 hour time frame. So we'll be looking for a reversal on the lower time frame after mitigating a POI to then target the daily low or a POI in the daily time frame. So as you can see, we have this daily um, demand here, which is yet to be mitigated. Okay, so we can trade into this daily POI and then to upside. All right. So let's go to the XAUUSD. So I actually had another trade on the XAUUSD on the 4 hour time frame. As you can see, we're having a break of structure to the upside on the 4 hour time frame. Okay. So on the 15 minutes time frame, on the 15 minutes time frame, I had this other block here on the 50 minutes time frame after breaking the structure to the downside. This was in the discounted zone. All right. And this is my liquidity. Okay. So after mitigating this other block, I went down to the 1 minute time frame. So after mitigating that other block, let me see, where was it? 115. Okay. So after mitigating that other block, price came back, closed below. Okay. So on the 5 minutes time frame, this was a very good trade on the 5 minutes time frame. This other block. The trade idea I took was initially I placed my stop loss here and my take profit was on this low. Okay. For a 3.6 risk reward. But let me see. I think nah, there's another trade I took. Okay. So I minimized my stop loss to something like this. And then I don't know what happened. The price gap to upside and then took me out before making the move to the downside. All right. So this was the trade I took. So I initially placed my stop loss on this other block, which would have been safer for me for a 3.89 risk reward. But I wanted something like 5 risk reward trade. And then it took me out before making the move to the downside. Okay. So on the 50 minutes time frame, on the 4 hour time frame, we've not yet broken this low. So after breaking this low here with a candle close, we'll be having this other block and this as our liquidity for price to mitigate other block here and then move down to a bearish direction. Okay. So on the 50 minutes time frame, we're having this break of structure to the downside. We're waiting for price to mitigate one of these zones and then go to the lower time frame for a shift to the downside to break this low or even target this 4 strong low, a weak low. All right. So that's my narrative for XAUUSD. All right. And then on the USDJPY, this was the trade I took on the USDJPY. After making a break of structure to the upside, okay, as you can see, price then gave this other block here with a very small gap. So you can see we had a small fair value gap here. All right. So this was our 4 other block. So after price went up to break this structure high, and then we use this as our equal low liquidity for price to mitigate the 4 other block. And then we went down to the 50 minutes time frame. Let's see. Okay. So we had all these lows as our liquidity here. Okay. We had all these lows at liquidity. So after price ripping that liquidity, mitigating this 4 order block, we had this for 50 minutes change of character. All right. So after that 50 minutes change of character, we had this other block here, a very good other block. Then we had another very good other block too here. Okay. So anywhere you enter, if you enter from this zone, your stop loss will be below here, and then your target will be up. For a beautiful 3 to 4 risk reward. Or if you enter on this for a beautiful 5.6 risk reward. So this trade, this is the trade I took. Yeah, this was the trade. All right. For a 5.14 risk reward. So this is exactly the trade I took. Okay. So as you can see, the trade I took on the USDJPY for 5.14 risk reward. Okay. So after breaking the high and giving us a um, giving us a 4 break of structure to the upside. We don't have any 4 order block in this zone. All right. The 4 order block is this. Okay. That's the valid 4 order block. All right. So this is our liquidity, our inducement. And then as you can see, we've been bullish to break the daily strong high with a candle closure. So on a 4 hour time frame, we're also having this other block on the 4 hour time frame. Okay. So this too is a liquidity, inducement liquidity. All right. So we use our premium versus discount to, as you can see, this falls in the premium zone. So we will disregard this other block. Okay. We have a good momentum here. So this other block is invalid. It will be valid only if after price push further upside for this other block to be uh, in the discount zone. Okay, so for now we'll be concentrating on this other block. So on the 1 hour time frame, as you can see, we're having a nested 1 hour order block. Okay, we have another 1 hour order block here. We have another 1 hour order block here. So we'll be waiting for price to come down, okay, to mitigate either of this order block and then give us our shift in the lower time frame for a bullish signal to the upside. All right. So for now, this is our idea for USDJPY. And then on the lower time frame too, on the lower time frame, I didn't catch this trade on the lower time frame because I was following my rules. All right. So after mitigating this other block in the 15 minutes time frame, price then decided to be bullish on a 15 minutes time frame. So this wasn't a good retracement for me. So if we should have gotten a one bullish candlestick, then the break would have been a solid 1 minute break of structure for me to take the trade on this other block with my stop loss below and my take profit on the high. Okay, so I missed this trade. My 1 minute confirmation was initiated on this high. Okay, then price didn't come back to tuck me in from here. All right, so I missed this trade, but it is what it is. All right, so on the 50 minutes time frame too, we're having this order block on the 50 minutes time frame. Okay, so we'll be waiting for price to reverse, mitigate this zone, give us a shift in the lower time frame for a break of structure to the upside. So if this violates, then we'll be looking for the 1 hour order block here. Okay, to give us a shift in the lower time frame, either the 5 minutes or the 50 minutes,